Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today it's the day before Ostara, which is the vernal equinox, and we have some lagomorphs here. We have the March Hare in the Tennille illustration style. We have the March Hare in the a more modernized style. We have the white rabbit in a more modernized style, and we have the white rabbit in the more Tennille illustration style. I couldn't decide which ones I was going to use, so I brought them all. Lagomorphs, it's the spring and it's March, so we have the March Hare as well. So each of these is going to have a message for you. So feel into the lagomorphs and see which one of them has a message for you. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, classic March Hare people. So I'm going to move the March Hare over here to oversee the reading, and I'm going to be using the rose quartz runes because it's spring. Almost. It's pouring rain out where I am. And let's get a reading going on. So I'm going to do a little bit to start with, and then we'll go from that. That is blank, isn't it? Okay, cool. Cool. What is that? I don't know. It fell off of me. Okay. So starting with that, our central issue is we have Hagal, and Hagal or Hagalaz is the hailstorm rune, and it has to do with chaos and natural forces, natural energies, but also chaos, the uncontrolled uncontrollables. Things just feel just crazy at this point for you. Leading up to this, there's been a lot of emotionality happening. We have Lagus, which is the rune of the lake. It has to do with emotion, intuition, and heart. So a lot of emotional upheaval leading to chaos, like feelings of chaos. So what's going to help you is just to be open to it. We have the blank rune. I'm actually going to throw down another one to clarify this line, and one at the bottom to balance, because it's the equinox and we're all about balance. Be open to what's happening, and through that we're going to get a couple things. We have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest and time. So if you are open during this time of chaos, just be open to what's going to come. You're going to see, first of all, that this is a season like any other season. All things must pass, and this too will pass. So if you're feeling in a chaotic time, it's like it is a storm. It's a storm that you're going through, and the storms do not stay permanently. Storms move on. So remember that. Secondly, you are going to be seeing fruits of your labors even through this. You're going to be getting something out of it if you're open to it. What will not help is you have real feelings of, right now you're dealing with mistrust of the people around you and feeling unsupported. We have Manas reversed. It's the rune of humanity and your part in it, and it is reversed on the lower line. And we have Algiz reversed. Algiz is the rune of protection and support, and it's on the lower line. So basically you feel like because you can't trust the other humans, that you don't have any support, that you feel like you're lacking the support that you need, and this is terrifying. So right now you're passing through the storm. We all are. So just bring yourself back up to, I'm just going to be open. I'm just going to see what is and see what's going to happen, and we're going to go from there. And I'm sorry, there's like a cat hair in here to clear the cat hair off of my March Hare, and just see what comes through, and remember that this too will pass. So what this is going to lead to is actually a breakthrough. When the storm ends, it's going to be one of those endings of the storm where the sun just blazes through, and it's going to feel like, wow, you would not be able to convince me that an hour ago we were having a storm by how much the sun has come through and is shining. So this is good. So when the sun does break through, we have Dagas. It's the breaking of the day. It's the illumination of darkness, and it's going to be just like, wow, everything is lit up now, and I'm not going through the storm anymore. It's much, much better. Everything is clearer. What's going to help is patience. See your climb back into the unchaotic world as just, it's a step-by-step thing. You're going to be patient with yourself. You're going to be patient with the world, and just make those step-by-steps out into the sun once again. What isn't going to help is you may feel, and this is in relation to the fact that you, at this exact juncture, don't feel like you can trust people and that you feel you don't have support. You may feel like you're going to come out of this with your sword raised and just like, all right, now I'm going to get everybody who wasn't standing with me when I needed them. Please don't do that. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help anything. The other way I'm going to read this is, don't immediately jump back into trying to take care of all the things that you used to take care of before the storm, because it's going to be frustrating for you. This is not the time to rush around once the storm has cleared. Things are still wet. There's still mud. There's still ice. So don't do that. None of the things that I just said about this rune do that. Do not do those. This is Tiwaz. It's Tyr's rune. He's the warrior god. He can be helpful in other places, but at this point he's like saying, no, if you do this, it's going to make things worse for you. Just basically bring yourself back to, this is, you know, it's a washed, clean world, and it's just being relit up, and I'm just going to take my time, step by step. We're going to be patient. We're going to move back out into the world. And what this is going to lead to is, we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. It's the rune of the exchange. Maybe you can rebuild your trust in humanity. Not that, you know, okay, I have no faith in humanity myself, but you know, there are people that are awesome. And so maybe you can start with one-on-one, you know, who's one person that you love and care about, and you can have an exchange with. 2, this is the step after you've come out and worked on it for a while, and you've come out, this is where you can start setting new goals. Gabo also has to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. So this would be another point at which, this would be the point at which, after you've come out after the storm, and after the sun has broken through, and after you've taken your time getting your bearings in the new world, this is when you can start setting new goals and new decisions and new future goals for yourself. So that, March Hare people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely vernal equinox and a great Ostara, and I wish you all the best. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, chibi March Hare people. Little stubby March Hare. Okay, we're going to move the stubby March Hare over here, and we are going to see what reading the stubby March Hare has for you. The stubby March Hare. It was like part of the merch that came out after that live action Alice in Wonderland a number of years ago, which I enjoyed. Even though I'm a fan of the original book. Alright, we're going to do with this. Obviously, this is where we're going with that. I'm going to lay the whole thing out because I may as well. Alright, neat. Okay, so your central issue right now is we have Avaz. Avaz is the horse rune. The horse has to do with movement, but also spirit. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. First of all, right now you feel like you are galloping. You feel like things are moving very quickly, and it's just like gallop, gallop, gallop. You're just moving around. Maybe this is a joyous thing because you do feel supported. Leading up to this moment that we're reading from, we have Algies, which is the rune of the elk, and it has to do with protection and support. So you do feel very supported going into this, and as such, you feel like you can just run around, and you're just running around right now, doing a lot of movement. At the same time, you're also very connected to spirit right now, and if anything is leading you, it's spirit. Spirit is leading you, and you are running, and it looks like it feels good. So what is going to help you at this point is we have Kaunaz reversed, and we have Yira. That's neat because Yira was in the same spot in the last reading, but anyway, different meaning, different reading. So what Kaunaz is about is, Kaunaz is the rune of expansion normally, and it's basically the little ember it starts as an ember and it blows into a fire. So it's reversed on the upper line. So what is going to help you with just this running around, because right now you're running around quite possibly from the joy of it, but what the runes are saying is that what's going to help you at this point is focus. Choose a focus. And as you choose a focus, you're going to start to see the fruits of your labors come through like almost immediately. So if you choose to focus, you're going to actually see things. Like let's say if you were doing lots of different crafts and you weren't really finished any of them, and if you chose one craft and then there's one, and then there's another one, and then there's another one. So you're going to start to see, by focusing, you're going to start to see the fruits of your labors much more clearly than if you're doing a whole bunch of things at once that nothing is finished yet. So that's what they're suggesting, is to maintain that joy and that momentum, to actually hone your focus onto one direction that you're going to run in. And then you're going to start to see, this was a good choice because I'm getting a lot of reinforcement of this choice by getting fruits of my labor coming in. The other thing that Jira has to do with is time. So you're going to sort of, it's like you're riding through the season and you're feeling that much more keenly because you're focusing. So it's like there's not enough hours in the day, especially when you're using them. But anyway, this is actually what's helping you. So I'm sort of more leaning towards the fruits of your labors aspect of Jira. What isn't going to help you is we have Ingvas and we have Sovilo. So you're sort of, it is kind of, I mean, the upper line is always the opposite, is always the antidote to the lower line, and the lower line is always the opposite of the upper line. So if you're worried about that you're running around but you're not getting much accomplished, which is Ingvas, which is active creation, and you're worried about burning out, this is why you want to hone your focus. So what's not going to help is just basically carrying on, just running randomly. You're going to basically not going to have anything to show for it, and also you're going to burn yourself out. So below the sun. So your best bet is, while you're excited and running around and have this energy and momentum, to direct your focus onto something, and then you'll be getting something out of it, which is great. I mean, not that we want to focus on getting something out of it, but this might not even be material. This could be just focusing on self-work. It's like, you could be focusing on self-care or doing something that isn't tangible, and you're going to get more results if you hone your focus, say the runes in this case. So your next step is actually going to be something that has to do with a lot of patience, slow growth, slow development. We have the yew tree rune, and it has to do with like basically step by step, being patient and working steadily towards a goal. So at first you were just running around everywhere, and then you honed your focus, and now you're like, okay, I'm working towards this thing. It's like you chose a path, like a main story quest path, and now you are working towards a goal that you are going to, which is really exciting. And this is why I said self-work is quite possible with this, because of this finishing rune, but I'll get to that. And what will help you when you're working towards the goal is just to stay open to nature and stay open to the uncontrolled uncontrollables, because we have Hagalaz here, which is the hailstorm rune, but it is in the helping line. So it's sort of like if you were writing a novel, for example, to not really be married to the plan of the novel, to allow for surprises to come in, to allow for the unexpected, to just basically allow things to naturally take their course with it. Same with any creation, like just be open to that. If you stick to like a rigid plan and don't allow for that, then the thing comes out and it's not, it could have been more alive, basically. So allow for that. As you're growing, as you're developing, as you're taking these steps forward bit by bit towards this goal, be open to the wildness that will help it keep it vibrant and alive. And that's basically the opposite of this is saying that. Like, don't be rigid. We have Isa, which is the rune of standstill, and ice. And so it's basically saying, don't be rigid about your steps forward. Don't be very, with the blinders on. Don't be cold towards that. Just let that be part of it. Let the sudden shower be a part of your springtime walk, kind of thing. It'll make it more rich. So what this will lead to is, above all, no matter what else you get out of this, you're going to learn something about yourself that you didn't know before, and that's really, really exciting. We have Pertho reversed. Pertho is the rune of the lot box that has to do with surprises and fate and luck, and it is reversed, but it's on the path line. So I'm really going to see this as, through all this, you have learned something about yourself that you didn't know before, and it's like a gift that you've just been handed. It's like, wow, now I know this. This is me too. So that's exciting. So happy Ostara, all the chibi March Hare people, and I wish you a lovely spring. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, chibi white rabbit people. Little stubby white rabbit. We're going to move that over here. I don't know what these sounds are. I've been hearing these sounds behind me. It's broad daylight. It's raining. I've been hearing like clicks and bumps and thumps behind me. I guess it's things in the hallway, but I have no idea. It's just really weird. Anyway, white rabbit people, we're going to throw down some runes from the rose quartz runes, and we're going to see what message the white rabbit has for you. So let's build this. Doopy-doo. Yes. Sorry, I got lost in my spread for a second. I'm all good. Right, and finally, final rune in the spread. Beautiful! Okay, so White Rabbit people. Your central issue is we have, and this is neat because I've seen these in this order recently, but it was a different meaning. We have Manas reversed as your central issue. Manas is the rune of humanity and your part in it. Not your place in it, but your part in the whole of humanity. And it is reversed, and it's in the central issue spot. So basically, you are looking right now at how you, who you are, and basically you're sort of turning away from the din of humanity, who are basically saying you have to be this, you have to be that. You're sort of like turning that din down, and you're sort of like, who am I? Listen to my own drummer. This is something I want to do that is for me, that ultimately will help the world, but it's like I have to do this myself. I have to follow my own my own intuition and my own path, my own heart. So what led up to this is we have Othala, and Othala is the home and the homeland rune. So you're sort of coming out of a comfort zone. My bracelet just got caught on the ivy. You're coming out of a comfort zone. You're coming out of a situation of sanctuary and solace and home. So you're stepping out of that, and you're like, okay, you know what? Who am I in the world? Who am I in the world without influence from the rest of the din of humanity? Who am I really? And that's where you're sort of at now. What's going to help is, first of all, we have Sovilo, which is the rune of the sun. And so you're going to open up to your source energy. Whatever nourishes you, your source energy is going to vary, but it's the sun basically. And it's where you get the energy that energizes you and nourishes you. And while you do this, what this is going to open up to you is you're going to know what you need. First of all, I think that's what this is saying is the first way to start finding out who you are is to find out what you need. So open up to your source energy, let that start to inform you, and through that you're going to start to see very clearly, okay, what do I need in the world? And that's going to help you build this idea of who you are in the world without the influence of others. What isn't going to help is as you turn away from others, you're going to start to feel, Algi's reversed, rune of protection and support, you're going to feel unsupported. You're going to feel like without them, who am I? You know, I don't feel as supported if I'm not in the group. Secondly, because of that, you're going to start to feel like, how can I even talk? You know, how do I even communicate? We have Ansu, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. It's like you're going to have to learn to talk a whole new way if you're not talking in the midst of this group. So you're going to feel sort of unsupported. You're going to feel afraid of expressing because you're not sure who you even are outside of a big group. But this is really important to find who you are. So once again, open up to what nourishes you, what you know nourishes you. And this could be something that doesn't, as far as you know, nobody else, it nourishes nobody else that you know. But open up to it. It's what you love and it's what will nourish you. And this will start to show you what you need. And that's what's going to carry you forward. And right away, your next step after this is you're going to be very, very happy. We have Vunyo. Vunyo is the rune of joy. It's upright. It's on your path. So it looks like this has done very well. It's a really good idea to get in touch with who you are. This doesn't mean that you're going to be moving away from all of the rest of humanity. We can't help it. We are a part of it. However, it's important to know who you are because that will strengthen the note in the song that you are. So your note in the song, and this will strengthen your note in the song. So once you have learned a little bit more about who you are, it's just you're going to feel this great joy that you haven't felt before, and it's really exciting. And so what the runes are saying is going to help is just keep going with that. Expand on this. Whatever you started learning in this initial step, expand on it. We have Kaunas, it's the rune of expansion. It's fire, so it's something that, it's a torch too. Something that starts small as an ember and expands into a blaze, and it's also something that shines a light. So just continue to expand on every time you encounter something that gives you nourishment, do that. Open up to that and let that continue to nourish you. And the more you do that, the more that's going to expand, the more the knowledge of who you are is going to expand, and the more joyful you will be. And what isn't going to help you is we have Pertho. Pertho is the rune of the lot box. It has to do with surprises and also fate, luck, and it's like you're afraid that you're going to find out something while you expand and while you learn these things about yourself. You're afraid of something that is going to be a surprise that you're not ready for. It's not even necessarily a negative surprise, but it's like you're afraid of hitting a surprise that you're not ready for, and that will stop you in your tracks. Please try not to worry about that. It's the same thing as not feeling supported and not knowing who you are to communicate anymore. But you're still able to do that. You're learning more about this than you did before. So bring yourself back up to expanding on what you were doing before, continuing to tap into your source energy, and just riding out this joy, because it's wonderful. And what this is going to lead to is basically a brand new birth of you, a new beginning for you. We have Berkana, it's throne of birth and beginnings, and there you go. And it's basically, this is going to lead to a whole new beginning for you in your life. So that, stubby white rabbit people, chibi white rabbit people, is your reading. I wish you a lovely Ostara. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, classic Tenniel illustration white rabbit people. I'm going to turn you this way, even though you're kind of like from behind this way, but this is how I'm going to build, so it's going to go this way. So, white rabbit people, let's see what the rose quartz runes have to say for you. Ooh, interesting. This is really neat. And I'll tell you, it's cool. So, because a lot of these runes showed up in the last reading, but facing the other direction, which is neat. Yeah, exactly. Wow, very cool. Okay, last rune in the spread. That's our last rune in the spread. That's it. That definitely wanted to come out. Okay, great. Okay. Tenniel illustration, white rabbit people. Your central issue currently is we have Berkana reversed. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. Berkana is the rune of birth and beginnings. It is reversed and it's your central issue. So first of all, I'm going to read this as you're incubating a new identity right now. You're sort of deep inside. You are getting ready to herald a new identity, but you're incubating it right now. You're working on it. You're working on a new you. Secondly, there was a beginning that you were hoping to start, but you couldn't just yet. You had to sort of put it on the back burner. So there was something that you were hoping to begin, but that you couldn't begin just yet because of reasons. And some of those reasons was that there was an emergency that came up just before this. We have Nauthi's reversed. Nauthi's is the rune of need, and even upright, it's like tend your needs. But when it's reversed, it's like there's an emergency. Drop everything and take care of this. Okay, now that's a motorcycle. So, sorry, I don't know how much of the outside you can hear, but anyway, big motorcycle. It's pouring rain. Anyway, so back to the reading. So you've just been through like a time where you just had to really drop everything and just tend these needs. And so now you're in a situation where you're looking at this thing that you had to back burner, and you're looking at starting this over again. This could consolidate into being this new identity that you were building. So either way, here you are right now with this new identity that you're incubating, and also looking at the thing that you had to sort of stop starting. And what's going to help you at this point is we have Pertho and we have Algies. So Pertho is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with luck, it has to do with fate, it has to do with surprises. It's basically surprises that were already there. So what's going to help you is something's going to reveal itself to you that was always there, but you never sort of acknowledged it before, and it's like it's yours. And what it's going to be about is it's going to bring you more support than you had before, which you certainly will welcome, because you went through all of this and it was just really rough. So the surprise that's going to happen right about now, there's going to be something that's going to come to light that you'll realize was always there, but it's going to be giving you a little more support, a lot more support than you thought you had access to. So that's going to help you. What isn't going to help is you're going to feel like what you've been through was just such a challenge. And this is the challenge rune. This is Thurizaz, and it's reversed. So it's like an impossible challenge. And it felt like your options were narrowed because you had to drop everything and tend to this. So, sorry, Kauna's reversed. Not expansion, but honing into a focus. Your options felt narrowed. And Thurizaz reversed is the challenge, and it is reversed, so it feels like an impossible challenge. So you're still being dragged down by just the trauma that you just went through. So what's going to help you here is just sort of to open up to what is being revealed to you now that was always there, but that offers you more support than you had before. And what this will lead you to is a deep inner joy. We have Vunyo, which is the joy rune, and it is reversed, but it's on the path line. So it might have to do with revealing where you've been discontent, which is important as well. But I do also see this in the same way that I see this as you're incubating your a new identity, you're incubating a new you, a new beginning. I see this as deep inside you're tapping into some joy that nothing can touch. It's basically, this is always there, and it's within you, and it's starting to grow again. What's going to help you is just be still and let the clarity of that come through. We have Isa, which is the rune of ice, and it has to do with standstill, but also clarity. So you're going to feel like, just to be still and help this to come through. It's like being still to allow this to grow and to draw this out by your stillness and seeing it through the clarity of your stillness and letting that come up. What isn't going to help you is you're going to still feel like there's obligations going on. We have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. It has to do with agreements, decisions, and goals. Sometimes one-on-one relationships, but really I see this considering what you've been through. You still feel like there's obligations that you're going to have to deal with based on what you've just come through. That could drag you down if you let it, but just basically now is the time that you're seeing the deep inner beginnings of this joy happening, of this new joy coming through, to be still and let that be drawn out. And what this is going to lead to is just a great new blazing in of new energy. We have Sovila, which is the sun. It has to do with source energy and basically what nourishes you, the energy that nourishes you. And you're going to feel more energized than you've felt in a long time. And this is basically the illumination of darkness. The conqueror of darkness is the sun, and so it's going to feel like if you are the sun, then darkness can't get near you. Like negativity can't get near you if you are the sun. And it looks like just because you were able to draw this through, and this new you is coming through, and this new joy, this new sense of joy is coming through, you're just going to be blazing by the end of this, and nothing negative is going to be able to get at you. So that, classic White Rabbit people, is your reading. I wish you a happy spring, a joyous Ostara, and I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye.